Kevin, after the feast on Boxing on Christmas Day, probably a little bit of a famine in terms of goals today, but certainly a goalless draw with Chester and a clean sheet, I would think, is the big positive.
Yes, I don't think we've kept anywhere near enough clean sheets in certainly this season, and it's something, like I say, we need to do on a more consistent basis. But I thought the overall application of the lads today, their effort levels, and the fact we never made any glaring errors and howling mistakes like we've been guilty of in previous weeks. We gave ourselves a chance in the game, and certainly I think as the second half went on, I think Chester were probably a bit brighter and came out better in the second half. But we've had some good moments in both halves. Probably half chances really is the best way you could describe them, because I don't think really clear cut that you're disappointed about. But certainly, those half chance moments that if we take one of those, you'd hope to go on and take all 3 points. But look, Chester are a strong side with real positive momentum about their game at the moment. So yeah, it's pleasing. It's a start. We won't get carried away with it, but certainly it's nice when you see the effort levels from the players in training. If they can be then mirrored by what we can earn on the field, it's really encouraging for everybody.
Sure. Chester, the good side on the ball. You could see the way that their movement with and without the ball. So it was a real test of that concentration. Something that you've stressed very much is not being quite where you want it to be. But I thought probably with about 20-25 minutes of the half or the second half left, Chester had pretty much changed their approach. So you'd sort of like snuff that out, hadn't you?
I think so. I think we looked like we finished the second half quite strongly, and I think we may be a little bit playing on the counter, but just felt like we're probably a more likely side to go and win it. I think fair play, because our concentration levels were good and we were hard to break down, and we need to be exactly that. I think the lads have earned the right to have those moments where you break away and cause problems, and there've been several there, and it just helps to grow that belief within the group. Look, we've got another really tough battle against Chester in a few days' time as well, and it won't get any easier. But that's the level of the league, as we understand, and just pleased with the players really, because they have shown good application to what we've asked in training. We make it hard, and physically it can be quite demanding, but that's where we need to go. And as I say, I can't get ahead of of anything, but you'd hope, hopefully that signs there that we are more competitive in games, we're harder to break down, and again, hopefully we can start eradicating those awful mistakes that we've been making to gift easy moments to teams. You'd like to hope that's the start of it, but I'm certainly getting carried away with nothing at the moment.
You were helped obviously by having Jamie Allen back and Brendan Daniels back, who senior players, aren't they? So they do help. Prince Ekpolo, he had to go off injured. Is any concerns there?
Yeah, we're getting him assessed. It's obviously very early days. Both Prince and Byron have come off with a couple of bumps there, so we need to just see how they are over the next sort of 24, 48 hours. But again, players that are experienced at this level, and you need about the group. And as a manager, I've had to disappoint one or two there out of the group and take them out of the 16, and some young men that will probably turned up today expecting to be in the group and maybe in the team. And when you're not in the team, it can be feel quite tough. But that's where it is, and none of those decisions are made. They're made because of what I feel will best serve to try and win us the game. Players need to learn from it, and again, just said to the guys there, that, it needs to be exclusive to try and get in that change room. That's what we need to try and create, and a difficult place to get into, because you've got to play to a good level, and that's where we're looking to try and take it. It will take time, but certainly, like I say, it's nice to keep the clean sheet today. It's a real positive, and as I say, pleased for the lads, because they do work hard, and we'll need to continue to do so.
Sure. No more game again before we play Chester on New Year's Day. Now sometimes there's one in between time, so that maybe allowed you to not have to worry about trying to conserve effort because of another game in 48 hours time.
Yeah, it's important that that they come down and live right and condition themselves off the back of today's game. They'll have obviously a couple of days off now, and then we'll go again Wednesday. So yeah, it's we'll work again on, I believe it's Friday, off the back of that, and yes, it'll be hopefully intense again, and But we manage people in the right way. Like I say, we realise there's a lot of effort gone into that game there today, and managing people in the right way is important. But equally, it's important that we get people on that out in training and working really, really hard, so they are and do become more robust as individuals and then collectively as well. And that's obviously what we're searching for, and we'll continue to search for.
Okay, really appreciate your time, Kevin. Thanks so much.